thank you. And let me again thank the family for allowing me to be part of Woody's life for so many years and being part of yours too. Sometimes we start talking about Woody, your voice trembles a little bit, and you start thinking all the emotions kind of build up. And I know, Tracy, we were standing there, and I know how that, in the Quezon song and all that comes by, and it really touches your heart. But today I think Woody be very pleased with all of us being as strong as we have been, because none of us want to let him down. We're scared. we mess up, Woody's coming back, Governor. But there's so many people here to honor Woody, and all of you showed up, and all of the military. God bless each and every one of you for your service, what you continue to do for our country. It's good to be with Governor Justice and First Lady Kathy, my good friend and my colleague, Senator Capito, her husband Charlie. It's always good working with them. We work very close together. Congressman McKinley and Mary's here. I saw back there. I didn't get a chance to say hi, but I saw him earlier. Dave, it's always good to be with you. And Congresswoman Miller, I think, is here too. I think she's been here. There she is. Let me just say thank you to all of them. The Marine Corps' Commandant General Berger is here. General, it's always good to be with you. And Sergeant Major Black, and all of you do such a great job. We're here to respect Woody. And as the governor said, he wants us to celebrate. He really does. He doesn't want us to mourn. Woody he's tough up to the last minute, as you know. The last living Medal of Honor recipient from World War II. Think about that. The last living of the greatest generation the world has ever known, the country has ever had, I can tell you that. It's been 77 years since Woody quieted those enemy machine guns on the sands of Iwo Jima, and he is now sadly gone. But the ideals that he lived by are not love, is not love of his family, his friends, and his faith, and service to country above all else. Woody lived every day. He lived every day as if it were going to give a second chance. And he always thought that second chance was not to be wasted, if you ever talked to him. But one of my favorite quotes by Woody was this. He cited when his great-grandson, Cedar's here, and where's Cedar standing? Sitting right here. When Cedar graduated from Marine boot camp, your grandfather said this. He was asked what it meant to be a Marine. He said, by taking that oath, you can take my life, but you cannot take my country or my freedom. If you ever heard him talk, that's all it was. That was Woody Williams in a nutshell. I'm going to miss Woody as much as this family misses him, as much as all of you missed him. I missed the phone calls. I missed the directions I was given. How I was supposed to vote. And when I didn't, how I made a mistake. I'm going to miss all of that. He's always coming with great ideas. And one time we were talking, and he said, Joe, he says, the Gold Star families. He says, you understand what the Gold Star families, what they go through and how much challenge they have? And, we all mourn and honor the sacrifice that was made from their family. But they're left to carry on, losing a dear member of their families you can't replace. He said, we've got to support them and do things. And I said, well, I was governor at the time, Governor Justice, and I said, well, Woody will do whatever you think we can do. And then I always like to ride a motorcycle, so I said, maybe we'll do a motorcycle ride. You can always get motorcycle. They come out all the time, and I watched when they rode in. It was very special. But anyway, he said, fine, let's do it. So we did a Gold Star family run, and we've been doing that for the last 6 years. Now, mind you, we ride a little bit hard at times. If you think I ride hard, you ought to ride with a Woody in that slingshot. I mean, he was hell on wheels. Woody comes screeching in, boy. I tell you, you couldn't go too fast for Woody. But we did a lot of good, raised hundreds of thousands of dollars, and been supporting the Gold Stars. And I want you to know we'll continue to do that. That is not going to be stopping, because I'm afraid Woody would come after me in a heartbeat. Anyway, some of the funds went to the monuments. As you saw, the beautiful monument here was done so well. I keep thinking about all the things that we did do and work together, and you really realize the impact he had. He got a ship named after him, and I was out there when they christened the ship. I was back here, Brent, when they commissioned the ship. And what I didn't realize was this. We knew Woody was our hero. We all knew that, and he's a special person in all of our lives. I did not know that he was a special person in the entire Marine Corps. And what they've talked about, General, that, when you talk about heroism, the definition is Woody Williams and how he lived his life, but not just basically when he was in the service. And when you talk to Woody about, the sacrifices, and everybody says, this man single-handedly, he says, stop it right there. There's no such thing as single-handedly, especially in the Marine Corps. He says, the people that should be getting this medal were the two corpsmen that were the riflemen covering me that got killed while I was doing my job. He always, he just would stop you right in a heartbeat, not let you go any further about that. But the greatest was this Sunday, he allowed me and Mara, he wanted us to come, and we got to go visit him. And thank you all so much for allowing that to happen, the family. So we got there at 10 o'clock. I said, we can't be late, Mara. He won't let us in. And sure enough, we got there on time. So we go in, and he was setting up. Oh, he didn't know this, but the day before, I was talking to Dennis McDonough, the Secretary of the Veterans Administration. I said, Dennis, I get a chance to go visit Woody tomorrow, and I know he'd love to talk to you. And he said, well, man, it'd be my honor to talk to him. He says, can I do that? And I said, well, let's see how it goes. So I went to the hospital, and I got in there, and I said, Woody, there's somebody who wants to talk to you. And he said, well, put him on the line. I said, okay. So we got Dennis on the line. And Woody was so tickled. And he was tickled for about 2 or 3 minutes. And they told Dennis exactly what he wanted him to do. He says, now, Secretary, he said, let me tell you about these cemeteries up here. He says, we have these veteran cemeteries, and we have these shelters. And he said, let me tell you, the sun doesn't always shine in West Virginia and other places of the country. We need those shelters to be enclosed. And I could see Dennis go, yes, sir. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, we passed a bill. Shelley and I worked on this bill. We passed this bill where we have three pilot projects. Now, you can't, ethics violation to say, okay, we want this for one of ours. We're doing this bill for us. You can't do that. But we made it very clear, and I think Woody made it very clear, well, one's better be done. One of the three better be here. I can tell you that. And I told Dennis, and no too many words, I said, Dennis, you don't have many choices on one. Two, you can pick two, what you want, but not one. So Woody was doing that. The Fisher House, Ken Fisher, the Fisher House, we worked with them. Woody was so involved in that, and that's one of the most beautiful houses. I think you all got a chance to. It's just gorgeous. And that was all because Woody wanted families to have someone they visit their loved ones, somewhere to go. I didn't realize the magnitude, as I said before, of Woody's reach, but my God, it was long and it was far. The thing that reminds me most about Woody, and I think about, how do you honor a person that's been honored, and everything? It's basically, and how do you recognize the greatest generation? The greatest generation was recognized because they never blamed anybody else. They took total responsibility for their life and held themselves accountable at a higher standard. We were raised in the same part of the state of West Virginia, about 10 miles apart from Quietdale and Farmington, so I know the area very well. And Woody would always be able to bring everything down to a level that we could total grab and hold on to. We were saying the Pledge of Allegiance, and you ever notice we got one nation? We always, for some reason, we used to pause. One nation under God. Woody says, don't pause. You can't pause. There's no break there. It's one nation under God. And he was adamant about that. And I was very, very careful when I was saying it to make sure. But one of his last wishes that he wanted for those who served in the greatest generation, and the Medal of Honor winners, there was over 470 of them in World War II. His one of his last wishes was, Joe, that whoever that may be, not me, it's not because of me or anybody else, but whoever that last person, to honor the greatest generation in World War II should lay in state the United States Capitol. Now, that's not an easy feat. Well, since last Sunday, Shelley and I have been on the phone probably on and off all week, trying to work through the rigmarole, if you would. There's a lot going on there, and there's a lot of control. Nancy Pelosi has control of the House. She's the majority leader, so basically they have the House has control of the rotunda. But with that, they have the four corners, which would be your majority and minority leaders in both. So in the Senate, it would be Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell. In the House, it would be Kevin McCarthy and, of course, Nancy Pelosi. Well, everyone's around the world. I mean, when we go on break like this, they're everywhere. So I'm trying to find them. I said, Shirley, have you found them yet? She said, I'm still looking too. So we're tracking people down, trying to talk to them. And I finally found Nancy in Europe yesterday, and we had a nice long conversation. And it's a really tough situation to get Lion State. There's so much request for that. But I want to announce today that I got a phone call at 11 this morning that our friend is going to Lion State at the national capital. So all of us working together, and David and Carol and all of us working together to make that happen, because it takes everybody. It takes the whole congressional delegation to be in sync and on board with that. So David, I want to thank you, and Carol, I want to thank you, and all of you. We all worked so hard on this thing to get it happen. So that was one of his last wishes. And then when I'm leaving the hospital, he had one more. Now, I never heard this one before. This was a brand new one. He said, Joe, you know how hard it is to get here to the VA Center? Now, Governor, this was for you, too. He said, now, you tell Jim. I said, I will. He says, do you know how hard it is to get here? He says, you have to wind around. He says, we need a new exit off of I-64. Now, I'm thinking, I got to tell Governor. I said, Governor, 20, 30 million, we can make this happen, I'm sure. But that was his last one. I says, well, he's on Lion State, which is unbelievable for our nation, but the greatest generation of all times. And we'll announce the date. I think we're going to be the second week of July. We're not sure the date. As soon as the family gets this worked out and we all coordinate this, then we'll let the public know how this is going to go. So, my friend, we did the best we could. I hope you're not upset with us. And we're going to work on that interchange. I'm pretty sure we're going to get the shelter covered. We'll get the sides on the shelter. And with the governor sitting here, I'm sure we'll put him on the spot. We'll probably get that interchange sometime, working together. Done, yeah. But he never quit giving back. So all I can say is a life well lived is a life that can share with all of us. And he shared every minute of his life with us. There was never a time that he did not want to make sure that you understood the greatest nation on earth is right here. And he was privileged, and God did bless us, and he blessed us all to have this great nation, the freedom and the peace that we have. And he just did his job. So my good dear friend, job well done. God bless.